all you Golden Eagles. You're listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. I'm your Tuesday, Thursday show host, Skylar Angus Parker. We've got a great show coming up with some information about Keith Corsi detailing the new plan to restore biodiversity in Mississippi. And Nia Peterson has the latest on Southern Miss Today. But don't touch that dial because we've got some special guests that will share some things that you don't want to miss. You're listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Join Southern Miss Radio on Sunday mornings from 6 a.m. till noon for Sunday Brunch. You'll get jazz and swing music from artists as wide-ranging as Bix Beiderbecke to Brad Mehldau, from Dippermouth himself to Esperanza Spalding. But relax, you don't need to know anything about the music to enjoy it. It's a great way to wake up on Sunday morning. Sunday Brunch from 6 a.m. until noon on Southern Miss Radio.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio and USM Campus News. Dr. Joseph S. Paul sworn in as USM's 11th president. Dr. Joseph S. Paul eschewed the spotlight during his presidential inauguration October 5th at the University of Southern Mississippi's Hattiesburg campus, deflecting the focus instead on the institution where he's been called to serve as its leader. A beloved son of the university, Dr. Paul was installed as the 11th president of his alma mater during his investiture ceremony held in historic Bennett Auditorium, as the school also celebrated homecoming week. The 1975 graduate of Southern Miss first served in the post of an interim basis beginning in July 2022, before being named president starting November 1st of last year by the state institutions of higher learning. Dr. Paul goes on to say, "Today's events may appear to be about me, the person just inaugurated as the 11th president, but what today is really about is the celebration of this noble institution, the University of Southern Mississippi, a collection of people and purposes and challenges and opportunities that is both ineffable yet tangible, that passes from one generation to another, that has outlived its founders from 113 years ago and will outlive us gathered here today. Blessings in a Backpack campaign benefiting international students underway at USM. The University of Southern Miss Wesley Foundation, the USM Association of Office Professionals, and the USM chapter of Sigma Alpha Lambda are holding their Blessings in a Backpack campaign to help international students obtain the supplies they need to be successful this semester. Donations can be made directly to the Wesley Foundation. Donations may also be delivered to the Wesley Foundation, located at 3200 Montague Boulevard on the Hattiesburg campus. Donations can be made through October 10th at 5 p.m. Backpacks will be delivered October 11th to October 15th. In Hattiesburg news, West Lamar Water Association issues a boil notice. The West Lamar Water Association issued a boil notice Saturday morning due to the emergency repair. The notice was issued for the following areas: Warren Lane and Seminary Sumrall Road from Lowry Road to Warren Lane. The notice will remain in effect until all samples are approved, which is expected to be 48 hours at least. In Mississippi news, Jordan Davis to headline concert at Brandon Amphitheater. Country pop singer and songwriter Jordan Davis is set to perform at the Brandon Amphitheater on Friday, August 16th, 2024. The new Damn Good Time Tour kicked off February 2023. Special guests will feature Mitchell Tenpenny and Ashley Cook. Davis goes on to say, "I've settled into a lot of really good headspaces in writing songs, which is rooted in being honest, about past things that I've gone through, good or bad, and about some things that have kind of scared me about the future." In national news, Israel is going to war with Hamas. The brazen attack of Palestinian militant group Hamas on Israel that began on Saturday will be seen as a turning point in the Palestinian-Israel conflict with far-reaching repercussions, analysts say. The multi-pronged attack saw as many as 1,000 assailants infiltrate Israeli territory, kill hundreds of soldiers and civilians, and take dozens of hostages back to Gaza. It was like nothing Israel had seen since the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. Israel pledged revenge, with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowing mighty vengeance. Hamas said it was prepared for all scenarios. Things will change forever, said Kobi Michael, a senior researcher at the Institute of National Security Studies in Tel Aviv. There is nothing in Israel history that compares to this attack. We'll be right back with sports and weather after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Imagine being denied an apartment because of housing discrimination.
It's so wrong.
But who has the power to stop this?
You do. The law is on your side. If you've been discriminated against because of race, color, religion, sex, national origin, disability, or familial status, file a complaint with HUD. Fair housing is your right.
Use it.
Visit HUD.gov/fairhousing. A public service message from HUD and the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now on for your sports. Women's golf travels to Oklahoma for Dale McNamara Invitational. The Southern Miss women's golf team is off to Broken Arrow, Oklahoma to play in the Dale McNamara Invitational on Monday and Tuesday. The Golden Eagle lineup includes Elena Milich, Regini Navet, Momoka Ando, Taylor Tribble, and J.C. Fields. Finishing sixth last week in Colorado, Ando leads the team with a 70.5 season stroke average. Milich is averaging 74.2 strokes per round this season, while Tribble is not far behind at 74.8. Men's tennis wraps up Southern Miss Invitational with 15 wins. The Southern Miss men's tennis team enjoyed a productive weekend at the Southern Miss Fall Invitational. The Golden Eagles won 15 matches over the three-day event at the Southern Miss Tennis Complex. Head coach Zubin Engineer goes on to say, "We've played really well at home, I thought. We had some big wins over Sunbelt teams, and I think that's a good measuring stick of where we're at before conference plays opens in the spring. There were tough competitions all weekend, and that was the goal when scheduling this event." To keep up with all the Golden Eagles sports activities, head on over to southernmiss.com. Now on for your weather. It looks like today will be mostly cloudy throughout the day as highs warm up into the mid-80s and the lows in the low 60s. It's going to be a bit humid today, so prepare yourself for that. And it looks like we might get some rain and thunder tomorrow, so break out those umbrellas and try to stay dry whenever you can. Up next, we have Keith Corsi detailing the new plan to restore biodiversity in Mississippi after a pine forest was cut down. Check it out.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. The clear-cutting of Mississippi's longleaf pine forest radically altered our state's ecosystem. Keith Corsi details the new plan to restore our biodiversity.
We've recently produced a new forest plan, which the forest plan covers the implementation of management for the whole forest in Mississippi. The old plan was more focused on producing boards and pulpwood, and the new plan is more focused on restoring the ecosystem. I think a lot of people would be amazed what this country used to look like. I mean, it was very awe-inspiring. And so what I'm really proud of is that we're really starting to restore areas that are sub-ecosystems or parts of the longleaf ecosystem. So that would be like mesic slope forests and pitcher plant bogs. So we're really doing some kind of cutting edge things to restore those small pieces of ecosystem that are within the longleaf ecosystem.
To hear more, visit MississippiMoments.org or just like us on Facebook. Mississippi Moments is supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. The humanities are for everyone.
That was Keith Corsi. Up next, we've got a special guest that you don't want to miss.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Hello, I'm Dr. Ed Simpson, Director of the School of Media and Communication at USM. Join me on Southern Miss Radio Friday afternoons at 12:30 for a new show, News You Need. On News You Need, USM students will discuss current events and why those events are important to them. Listen in on how the future citizens of the U.S. consider news and how those news events affect their lives. Join me for News You Need, Fridays at 12:30 on Southern Miss Radio.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now, please give a warm Golden Eagle welcome to Daniela Terrell from the JCI Hattiesburg Jaycees. Hey, how are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
I'm doing pretty okay. It's such a blessing to have you here in the studio today.
Thank you.
For anyone who doesn't know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, well, I'm Daniela Terrell, the owner of the Bougie Boss Pop-Up Market and Berry Bougie Boutique here in Turtle Creek Mall. I also own a mental health practice called Beyond the Brokenness Mental Wellness Solutions as well here in Hattiesburg.
That's absolutely amazing. And you already have so many things that are on your shoulders, but you're helping out Hattiesburg in such influential ways. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
So what exactly is the JCI Hattiesburg Jaycees?
So the Hattiesburg Jaycees, or JCI, period, we're an international organization for young people.
Okay.
We target individuals who are 18 to 40 who are looking to grow and develop with their networking or their personal, professional, just their leadership skills.
Right.
People who are looking to make an impact in their community. People who are looking to just change, just change the environment around them. So on a local level, on a state level, as well as on an international level.
All right. And with the JCs, has there ever been a point that you've looked over at this community that was established and looked over and went, this is a beautiful group, and I'm so glad that this is happening in Hattiesburg?
Oh, all the time. All the time. I am honored to actually be a part of the organization. But, for each organization, I believe it's just what you put in it. If you put good things in it, you're bound to receive good things out. But if you don't put anything good, anything positive in it, you're not getting anything out.
Absolutely. How can you expect to?
Absolutely. You can't.
We've got a very exciting and delicious opportunity for people in Hattiesburg. The 3rd annual Taste of the South Festival. Can you tell us about that?
Well, I'm calling it the three-peat, hashtag the three-peat. This is our 3rd year. So we've had 2 years of learning opportunities for making an economic impact in our community. So we're going into the three-peat. And we are bringing in 35 food vendors. So from your oxtails from the coast, or seafood from Louisiana, or pecan candy from Louisiana, local cakes, local eateries, fried chicken wings, fried catfish, barbecue, anything, snowballs, ice cream, anything you can think of, barbecue sauce, you name it, we'll have it.
That's already mouth-watering. Is there any food truck that you're most looking forward to at the event?
So I got issues with food.
Right.
I love to eat food, so I'm looking forward to all of them. All of them. Every last one of them.
I absolutely side with you completely.
Every last one of them.
The second that you mentioned the pecan candies, I looked over and went I don't remember the last time I had that, but I really need it.
Oh yeah. I'm talking Pound Cakery. So we've got Uncle Wayne's from coming from Louisiana, another cake bakery coming from Louisiana. We've got some local people too, because we have some great local food truck vendors here in Hattiesburg.
Right.
But we've got food trucks coming from all over the state of Mississippi and Louisiana.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yes.
And
Mexican food, seafood, Jamaican, Caribbean food, children's food, chicken. Yeah. We'll have your chicken strips, we'll have your popcorn, we'll have your snowballs. It is a family-friendly event.
Yeah.
Live music. Amazing. DJ Cujo, I know y'all know him.
DJ Cujo. That's exciting.
Yes, he'll be there. So Cujo will be with us, as well as Aisha McSwain.
Okay.
So those are our 2 live entertainments. It's going to be a day of fun. And
Absolutely.
The weather is supposed to be beautiful.
Oh, hoping for it. And with this festival, are there any other additional games or events that people can expect to play, or is it just a big focus on community?
We're saying get downtown.
Right.
There is so much going on downtown. It's a great opportunity for you to shop Lucky Rabbit.
Yeah.
See some of the local businesses and boutiques that have opened in our downtown area, but just sit down and enjoy. Food brings people together,
100%.
and we will have a lot of food. We'll have places for them to sit. We'll have some great beer by Southern Beverage and for sale, and then Cokes for sale as well. So it'll be something great. Fairley's Wings will be open, and he has a few, table games and things in there.
Okay.
But other than that, it's food, fun, dancing.
Food, fun, dance, community,
Food, fun,
all
dancing.
about that.
Absolutely.
With this festival, just as a last closing thing to mention, with this festival, with the second annual or whichever moment that you were able to look at, either in the planning stages or anything about that, what moment made you look at this festival and look over and go, this is going to be a complete blast? And anyone that misses out on it is missing out on more than just an opportune moment.
We've had so much in mental health, so remember that.
Right.
We've had so much tragedy when it comes to social distancing
100%.
and lack of social interaction. So just to be able to bring people together in one environment with dancing and food and, a safe environment, that brings me joy. A lot of people need that to kind of break down some of the stressors of the week.
100%.
It's affordable. Most of our vendors, there's a price range for everyone, so financial restraints won't be a huge issue for individuals who come out. Our music, it's for everybody, so it's just uniting the community.
That is absolutely wonderful, and thank you, and thank everyone that is attached to that for being able to do that. And once again, thank you so much, Daniela, for coming on today and providing a voice for our Eagles. For anyone looking to enjoy some delicious food and live music, stop by Fairley's Wings and More on Saturday and enjoy yourself for the 3rd annual Taste of the South Festival. Thank you so much for stopping by.
You're so welcome.
Up next, we've got another special guest right after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Imagine being denied an apartment because of housing discrimination.
It's so wrong.
But who has the power to stop this?
You do. The law is on your side. If you've been discriminated against because of race, color, religion, sex, national origin, disability, or familial status, file a complaint with HUD. Fair housing is your right.
Use it.
Visit HUD.gov/fairhousing, a public service message from HUD and the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now, please give a warm Golden Eagle welcome to Jessica Bunellas and Abby Phillips from the Study Abroad program. Hey, how are both of you doing?
Hey there. Great. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for coming on. And for anyone who doesn't know, can you both tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Yeah. So I'm Jessica Bunellas. I've been in the Study Abroad office for almost 10 years now, which is bizarre. So definitely have a passion for what we're doing. Our mission is, to give international experiences to USM students. And, that's what we're excited about and here to talk about today.
Right. And what about you?
Yeah, and I'm the program manager in the office. I've been with the office, unfortunately, right before COVID, so it wasn't perfect timing. But like she said, we are excited to let USM students know what their opportunities are to go abroad.
That's absolutely amazing. And I already know that, having a study abroad program in the university is something that like always gets students like anxious, but knowing that you two are like having such forefront capacities of pushing our students to be able to take these opportunities, amazing. And just before we dive a little bit into it, I just wanted to ask the both of you, has there been a favorite moment for you connecting students with this program?
Yeah, I think for me, it's the return when students come back and they just really talk about the impact that this experience had on them and really help open their eyes to various and new opportunities. It's those moments where they're like, wow, I get it now, that really are special to me.
Right.
Yeah, and we've both had the opportunity to be on site with some of our students as they go abroad, and really being able to see the transformation on site as well with these students. They, rightfully so, and a city can be very intimidating, but
100%.
after a few days of maybe a little guidance, they are using the city transportation seamlessly and look like local. So they have so much more confidence with that. It's fun to see.
So amazing with that. And I'm sure that a lot of people already know, but just what is the study abroad program?
Yeah. No, it's always good to be clear on what the opportunity is. So it is earning USM credit that you need, right? But being able to travel while earning that credit. So we really open the door wide open. For an example, our British Studies program is our flagship. And so you can spend the month this summer earning credit, 6 credit hours in your field, and get to do it in a very active learning type situations where London becomes your classroom. And we're doing that for all various types of programs, right? So it's a lot of fun. It's a really cool experience. So it's earning USM credit, traveling the world, and getting financial aid to help pay for it.
Yeah, that's lovely. I remember whenever I was in my Spanish class while I was enrolled, one of the big like motivators that he presented was he looked over and went like, I know that you might think that like Spanish class is like hard and it's difficult and it's frustrating. You could take this opportunity and come back with a Spanish minor.
Yep.
And the entire class went silent. And they looked over and went, what?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm going to pass a class, but get a minor, okay. But speaking of which, where can students expect to travel with the program?
Yeah, so we have just over the past week started opening up some of our summer program applications. So students can go to studyabroad.usm.edu and see all of the different areas that we will be offering over this next year. So we have programs in about 9 different countries, and starting in January, actually, we're sending right about 100 students next spring abroad. But if you want to be part of those upcoming numbers, starting in May, we are sending a couple of groups to Italy and then to Vienna. Those applications, for the most part, are open. Business and culture in Italy. We've got music in Vienna, and then we've got church and state in Italy as well. So all of those are going to be May programs, meaning that they are going to be for about 2.5 weeks, worth 3 hours of credit. So it's a really good opportunity, especially for somebody who may be intimidated by studying abroad. This is a short term, and all of these have USM faculty members going with them. So you're not going to have to go on your own and try to figure it out. You've got an expert there that's kind of paving the way for you. But then in June and July, we have our language programs as well. So June is Spanish in Spain. So you can spend about 5 weeks in Cadiz, Spain, living with a host family and learning the language and having your host mom make you some authentic food, which is nice, which is definitely a perk for that one. Yes. And on the flip side, in July, we've got our French in France program where you can earn 6 hours of French credit in Nice, France. So both of these happen to be on the beach, which I'm very jealous about. But both are offering opportunity to live with host families. So whether Spanish is your language that you're trying to learn or French, we've got opportunities for you. But they're both 1 month each. And then, like she said, the British Studies program is in the month of July. And there we're offering 11 different courses where a student would choose one course and earn 6 hours of credit in that course.
Wow.
And then to add one more thing to that, I have a lot of students who will come up and be like, you know what, I can't study abroad. I've got to do an internship.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? We have an international internship
Wow.
program. Yeah, so that's also based during the summer. It's 7 weeks long, and it's open to all majors, all fields of interest, and you'll earn 6 credit hours and get to work 32 hours a week while living in Dublin, Ireland. So that's a pretty cool opportunity as well.
That's amazing. I mean, everything that you guys have been mentioning has just been like a moment of like, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. But I do know that there might be one concern for the students, which is the cost.
Of course.
How can students attempt this opportunity, but also not feel like that they're going to lose everything they got?
Sure, yeah. I mean, as I mentioned, your financial aid applies. So when you're studying abroad, you're earning USM credit. So just think of it as you're taking classes, but your campus just happens to be, I don't know, in France, England, right? You're just elsewhere. So credit, money that you already have access to for the summer term if you're studying abroad in the summer, or for the fall or the spring, whenever it is you're abroad, that money is applied to the cost of these programs. And then in addition to that, there are study abroad specific scholarships. So the GO system is very popular, right? Everyone should be in GO. If you're not, go do that now. And while you're in there, in that general application, make sure that you indicate, yes, you're interested in studying abroad, because there's a question in that app, and that's how you get populated into our pool of scholarships for study abroad. So definitely do that. And then in addition, there are tons of other study abroad specific opportunities. Ones we always like to shout out is the Gilman Scholarship.
Yeah.
Cycle 1 just closed, but good news, Cycle 2 is just around the corner for the Gilman. And this is a scholarship specific to students who receive the Pell Grant. Okay, so yes, students who are in financial need, right? And this opportunity can give up to $5,000 just to study abroad. So there is money out there. You have to do a little bit of work for it. But let me tell you, we send around 300 students abroad every year. And each of them are thinking, how on earth can I possibly pay for this?
100%.
And we sit down and figure it out with them. So there's definitely a support system in order to help point students in the right direction to fund these opportunities.
That's absolutely lovely. And I'm sure any student that's listening right now that is even considering it and just like thinking, going like, I wish I could, probably just took that statement of going, maybe there is a chance.
Yeah.
Maybe I could take that chance.
Definitely.
But I do want to close with just this one last question with, have you ever accompanied any of the groups for the study abroad program? And if you have, do you have a favorite memory from that moment?
Yeah, so I have been able to go with a couple of different programs, and I think just being on site with the students and kind of taking in all the differences and seeing the challenges ahead of time, but then seeing them overcome those challenges along the way is just something. I know it's very general, but it's always fun just to see students light up with things. Specifically, I know with British, students always have these different bucket list items. And when you are taking a course in an area that's such a passion for you, it's fun to see students light up when they see things that they've only read about in books before come to life. So that's always a fun memory for me.
Yeah. And, to follow that up, I would say it's just being able to see them do something they didn't think was possible, like you said, right? Students, it's always like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. And then having worked with students to prepare them for these opportunities and then get to be on site with them and see how much they grow is always fun. And what's really cool about our programs is that they are tight-knit groups, you know, so you're going over there with your class and you've got, maybe 15 students with you. So you really get to grow with each other, make personal connections, and it's always fun to see those friendships form while abroad. And it's something that they'll be able to cherish forever.
Yeah, absolutely. That's beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Jessica Bonillas and Abby Phillips, for coming on today and providing a voice for our Eagles. Please check out the USM Study Abroad online if you're interested and enjoy your education with this amazing opportunity. Thank you both so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having us.
Coming up, we've got Nia Peterson with the latest on Southern Miss Today. Check it out.
Today on SM2 News Wrap. Jackson State University is facing a prolonged battle to secure funding to address its pressing housing shortage. Accessibility challenges persist for naloxone in Mississippi pharmacies. Gulfport event, Cruising for the Coast, is projected to bring one of the biggest annual boosts to Mississippi's economy. I'm Nia Peterson, and here are the top stories on SM2 News Wrap on Southern Miss Today. Jackson State University faces a continuing issue securing funding for its housing shortage. With 1,600 beds needed, the university has requested over $136 million for critical infrastructure improvements and new dorms. In the past decade, JSU received just over $56 million in state support, leaving a significant gap. JSU is still working to prioritize housing and improve communication with lawmakers to secure the necessary funds. Molly Mensah, Mississippi Today. A recent study by the University of Mississippi revealed significant accessibility challenges for naloxone, a life-saving drug to counter opioid overdoses in Mississippi pharmacies. Despite a state standing order since 2017, nearly 40% of Mississippi pharmacies do not stock naloxone. Education campaigns may play a crucial role in enhancing awareness of naloxone's accessibility. This issue takes on added urgency as opioid-related overdose deaths continue to rise in Mississippi. Pam Dankins, Mississippi Today. Mississippi's largest event, Cruising for the Coast, is set to revitalize the state's economy with vintage cars, bustling hotels, and a steady cash flow. Last year, this car extravaganza generated over $36 million for Mississippi from out-of-town spenders, aided by a post-pandemic tourism surge. The week-long Vintage Car Expo, spanning several counties, anticipates attracting car owners from 44 states, Canada, and even England. A study revealed high visitor satisfaction, with more than 90% likely to return or recommend the event. Sarah DeNatal, Mississippi Today. And that brings us to the end of today's Stories from Mississippi. Join us next time as we delve into more compelling narratives. Until then, stay informed, stay curious, and stay tuned. This is Nia Peterson with SM2 News on Southern Miss Today.
Thank you, Nia, and thank you for listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Huge thanks to our audio engineer Matthew Lee and Alina Pitletsky, our video producer, for keeping this bird flying. Big shout out to our assistant producer Huey Turlich, as well as our executive producer, Miss Whitney Howard, our program director Shania Williams, and our GM Dr. Wilbur Martin. I'm your Tuesday Thursday show host Skylar Angus Parker. Stay golden, Eagles.